What about the solids, though, honey? Let's pick up on those questions.
Yeah, so Tara, what does Brody usually have for breakfast?
Brody loves to eat, so he has a lot of things for breakfast. For example, this morning we had pancakes and applesauce. He enjoyed scrambled eggs, yogurt, toast, a pretty wide variety of things.
And what about his other meals?
For lunch, we might have a little bit of cheese, maybe some macaroni and cheese, any kind of pasta that's small enough that you can cut up. Of course, fruits and vegetables, diced in small quantities.
Yeah. And I also noticed that you use these serving dishes that have, the divided. Do you find that helpful?
I do. I actually do find it helpful. The one that we used this morning is divided like this, and we were able to put applesauce on one side and his pancakes on the other.
Okay, now we're going to ask Julie this question too, but I want to get your opinion on it. How then, if you got it all there, how do you keep Brody's hands out of the applesauce?
All right. Well, I'm in control of this dish, so I hold it and allow him to eat out of one side while I'm feeding out of the other. This wouldn't be anything I'd lay down in front of him.
So in truth, she's established a boundary.
Right.
And you've already trained Brody to this boundary of the side that he can touch and the side he can't. And that's obviously going to translate into the bigger environments, into the living room.
Sure.
That's very good.
That's great because you start from the small things and then it expands. And then as far as your other tray, these probably are all dry things that you put into these?
They are, and it just keeps things compartmentalized, and they have, sloping edges, helps with the pinch of grass. They're able to pick things up easily.
Now, is that more for Mom or is that more for Brody?
Well, this is awfully cute,
So
none
of this is necessary.
No,
but it's
certainly not.
They're not exactly the most expensive things that you're going to provide for your child either.
No.
And they are helpful, especially as they're beginning to learn that skill, because if it's all on one plate, oftentimes things can get mixed up, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but it does make it easier for the baby to learn that
good
skill.
advantage.
So it's good, yeah.
What's next, hon?
Speaking of finger foods, does he have a favorite?
Oh yes, he loves his zucchini bread. Loves it.
Do you serve that as dessert?
No, we make our zucchini bread a little bit differently. We pack it full of as many vegetables as we can get. Carrot, zucchini, sometimes cauliflower, and we half the sugar of the original recipe, use yogurt in it, so he's getting a lot of good nutrients. We use whole wheat instead of enriched flour.
That's pretty clever. Rather than having all of those assortments for him, which is nothing wrong with that. I mean, your mom's just combining them all and he's getting all the nutrition from that.
Sure.
What about a primary meal? I know around this age, pre-toddlers have kind of one meal of the day that seems to be their absolute favorite, and the others, they eat. So has Brody developed a favorite meal of the day?
Like I said, he loves to eat, so he loves all of his meals, but lunch is probably his favorite. So he may eat a larger lunch, which may mean he might eat a smaller dinner later in the evening.
Is there a developmental issue with that then, honey? A reason why that happens?
There is usually at about 12, 13 months, their nutritional needs decrease compared to all that they consumed within their first year of life, and actually for your average pre-toddler, it's about 1,000 calories a day that they actually require. So again, it's helpful to look at a 24-hour period and don't focus on each individual meal.
And while we're looking at meals still, let me ask you, what about special situations, special meals, things that you have to watch out for in your own home?
Well, in our home, Ethan is hypoglycemic, which means he has low blood sugar, and so we just really watch his sugar intake. It doesn't mean that we exclude sugar altogether, but it just means that we have to watch. So we have to just make sure that we balance. For example, if Grandpa lets him have a muffin later, we'll balance it with a good amount of protein.
So how would a mother discover that? I mean, do you have a history of that in your
I
family?
do. I have a history of it myself, and so I started seeing some of the characteristics in Ethan that I recognized in myself.
Okay, so I guess, hon, then what we're saying, the parents want to be sensitive to even the genetic line. If there's a history, you just want to be in touch with that and in tune with the potential that could be passed on to a child.
I have one more question, actually, and it deals with utensils. At what age, do you see and understand it's an appropriate age to start to use that spoon and fork. Obviously, the knife is not going to come for a while.
Right. Spoon and fork around, 15, 18 months, something like that. They're going to start, usually start with a spoon.
Right.
And start working on that. As a matter of fact, the other day I left a spoon on Brody's plate, and he, picked it up and started trying to spoon feed himself. And of course, I'm not ready for that. That's going to make a huge mess. I'm not ready to conquer that right now. So I just
That's interesting. That actually goes back to speaking to the fact that you recognize you are the parent, you are the mom, you are making these decisions. While Brody may show early signs of his readiness for it, Mom and Dad have decided that no, not
yet.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
and you're
good.
going to select
Good.
the time to work with them.
That's right.
On
All right.
that skill.
That's right.
So.
This has been a great visit. Thank you for helping us with
Sure.
these basics, Tara.
Thanks
We
for
appreciate
coming.
the time you've given us. We have more to talk about, though.
We hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe to see more, and check out the growingfamilies.life website to find more resources and to get connected.